Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us and watching this video. In this short video, I want to show you in a little more detail how you can use the Markets tab on Webull to improve the success of your trading. So again, I'm on the Markets tab of the online browser version of Webull, and you can find our affiliate link to Webull in the description box below. And in this video, we'll show you a couple live examples of how we've used portions of this Markets tab in our preparing our weekly game plans. So you'll see a couple real examples of how we use that in some of our game plans. And then I'll go into more detail about some of the other features that are available on the Markets tab in Webull. So if you've already seen how we used it in the past couple game plans in October, you can skip ahead. I will put a brief snippet of our YouTube channel banner, so you can skip ahead to that banner if you just want to get the additional features in the Markets tab in Webull and skip over the game plan portions. So now I'm in the Markets tab on the online browser version of Webull. And again, you can find our affiliate link to Webull in the description box below. Starting to really rely more on this Markets tab for information even during the day, but it's great, again, to see the composition of the market, the sentiment going into next week. So we can see all the markets are down, more decliners than advancers last week. And another nice feature, I don't think I've shown before, is the inflow into the markets. And we can see that the NASDAQ had a market outflow, less inflow as Friday went on. Not so much the New York Stock Exchange, it was pretty much flat. So that's good information as well. If we look at the after hours, the top losers, top gainers, to see if there's any kind of trend, I don't see a strong trend. It's a mixture. If we look at the top gainers after hours, again, kind of a mixture, so individual names generally advancing or declining, probably based on news, earnings reports. Here's the earnings reports calendar, and we're going to talk in more detail that the earnings season is heating up and how we want to play that this earnings season. So then if we go and we look at the best performing industries for the day, obviously energy, oil and gas, top performing transports. We still got supply chain issues, so there's a lot of discussion on transports. We can see, and then a mixture of semiconductors, etc. So another useful thing is to look at the most popular ETFs. We can get a feel for, okay, are people betting up or down on the indices? So we can see, okay, people are betting down on the NASDAQ, or kind of mixed on the Dow. We've got some up, less up, more down. Down on the SPY, so down on the S&P, inflow into SPXU, which is the short on the SPY, and again, inflow into the short on the NASDAQ. So again, people are betting down for the beginning of next week. We can see the industries, ETFs going into the industries, and we can see obviously oil and gas, again, heavy in energy. Outflows out of utilities, outflows out of communication, inflows into energy. And we can get a feel for, as I mentioned when we looked at the futures, basic materials. We'll see this in the commodities, that palladium and platinum are getting some inflows. And we can see defensives mostly negative, cyclical mostly positive. Again, if we look at the commodities, we can see, okay, there's palladium and platinum had significant inflows. As I mentioned in the futures, we could kind of see the impact of that is pushing palladium platinum, and hopefully that will help some of the other precious metals, gold, silver. We can see coffee, and this is softs, which is it includes cotton, and that is another way to play cotton long. JJS is an ETF long that includes cotton. Finally, just kind of see general Forex, etc. So hopefully that helps give you a feel for, okay, where's the inflows and outflows to the market? Are people betting up or down on the indices? What kind of commodities are getting attention, getting inflows right now? Again, we like this. This is very helpful. Even during the day, you can start to see shifts in sentiment in these different indices, different markets. We tend to watch that the best performing industries and watch for shifts in that during the day. Will tell us where's the money flowing. So hope that all helps. Let's look at some events.
Okay, so now I'm on the Markets tab in the online browser version of Webull. As always, you can find our affiliate link to Webull in the description box below. Get 2 or more free stocks if you're not already using Webull. Also, I have a video coming out that focuses on this Markets tab and how you can use this. Will be coming out soon, so I'll go through this kind of quickly. Again, we can see all the indices were green, more advancers than decliners. We can see net inflows. We can see NYSE had stable inflows. Again, we saw NASDAQ had kind of drifting outflows and then a spike at the very end. Friday happened to be options expiration date. I expected more volatility. We didn't really get the volatility, but it looks like there was some significant inflows into the NASDAQ at the end of Friday. The earnings calendar, again, this is another place where you can see at least the next couple days of who's reporting earnings. Since we already looked at that in detail, I won't belabor that right now. I want to look at the top gainers and losers from after hours on Friday to see if that indicates any trend. So I'll look at the top gainers after hours, see if there's, a sector or industry that's trending. I don't see anything. Look at the top losers, see again if anything, sectors trending down. I don't see a trend in that data. So then if we look at the best performing industries, we see retail, mostly earning reports triggering an up in retail at that point. Financials, automobile, transports. I definitely wanted to point this out because I was doing this earlier and I discovered what I think is a diamond in the rough, and we will be releasing a detailed video on this, so doing our due diligence, and we'll talk about it in terms of our watch list for this week. But I happened to see this LMFA, LM funding, and it was up 38% on Friday, and I wasn't sure exactly what they did. Was that a Chinese stock, or what's behind that pop? So we did our due diligence on LM funding, LMFA, and again, you'll see that in our due diligence video, and we'll talk about it when we get to our watch list. But this is one of the reasons I do this every week, is you discover some diamonds in the rough or particular trends that you weren't aware of. We see paper products. There's been talk of a shortage in cardboard boxes and things like that. So again, I find this information very helpful. I've been using this more and more on a daily basis, even intraday in Webull. If we look at the ETF flow, we can kind of see up on the Dow, up on the Dow, up on the S&P, up on the NASDAQ, and shorting the Russell. So they're betting the Russell's going down, so that tells us something, right? They're shorting the VIX a little bit, so they're still pushing the VIX down. I don't see UVXY, so people don't think the VIX has bottomed yet. So again, this tells me some useful information. We can look at industries, industrials, healthcare, financials, utilities, communications were down, energy was mixed. Earlier in the week we saw uranium had a run, solar renewable had a run. They're not running right now, so that looks like that run may be over. If those turn down, particularly uranium, might be an opportunity again in that sector. Copper, we see copper was up. We saw that in the futures as well. Consumer defensive down. Consumer cyclical still okay, but consumer defensive was down. So that's interesting. Look at commodities. We're going to see, copper's up, aluminum's up, nickel's up. A lot of the commodities are up. We kind of know that again from the futures. And then, okay, so as you can see, there's useful information. This combined with the futures, combined with the indices, allows you to get a real good feel for the direction of the market, the direction of certain sectors and commodities, etc. And then we can make buying and selling decisions. Do we want to long or short an index or a commodity? And then we could talk about individual stocks that may be underperform or outperform in our particular sector. So I hope this all helps. Now we'll start putting together our watch list for next week.
Now again, we'll look at some of the additional features not covered in what we've used in our previous game plan. So this is the point you could have jumped ahead if you've seen those portions of the game plan, and now we'll jump into those advanced features on the markets screen in Webull. Okay, now again we're on the markets screen in Webull, which you can get to by selecting the planet icon, the Saturn icon, in the left-hand portion of the browser version of Webull. And you can see you hover over it, it says markets. We'll just start with each pane and go through some of these additional features that we haven't covered in our game plans before. So you can see by default the upper left shows the indices. We can see the main indices, the Dow, the SPY, how each has performed in the past day. We can see Hong Kong and China markets if you're trading foreign markets. We can see advancers, decliners, inflows for Hong Kong. We can see news for Hong Kong. We can see gem flow, the main board. We can see all stocks and funds. Again, each of these you can select the all. We can see all stocks, all funds, the gem, the main board for Hong Kong and China. So we can also do this for global. And we can see how all the global markets have performed in the past day. We can see just North America if we want. We can focus in on just North American markets. We can see how the North American markets performed. We can see how just the European markets are performing, which in this case is live. We can see how are the Asian markets doing. So again, we can get a feel there for how are the global markets doing and how might those impact our trading day in the U.S. You can also see all the cryptos. So if you're a crypto trader and you want to keep track of all the crypto coins and trade them from here, you can see all the activity that's going on in all the different crypto coins. So again, very easy to get to from the Markets tab in Webull. And now we'll look at some of the other panes. So in the center of the market screen in Webull, we see the advancers and decliners distribution pane. And so we can see a count and a histogram of the advancers decliners for the given day. You can see how many advanced, 2%, how many advanced 5 to 10%, how many advanced greater than 15%, and likewise declined up to 2%, 5 to 10%, and 15%. So not only does it give us a general direction, but also a distribution. Do we have, some very high advancers, very high decliners, or is it mostly a bell curve with most of them in the center? This pane, the advancers and decliners distribution, also shows the net inflow for just the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. So the NASDAQ is in orange, and we can see throughout the day where is the money inflow into the NASDAQ. And you can see at the end of this day, which happens to be October 26th, we see a large outflow at the very end of the day. It's not uncommon at the very end of the day. You often see a spike up or down. The market makers, what I hear, are rebalancing their books, and a lot of times we see these large inflows or outflows at the very end of the day. But this particular day, we can see there was more inflows into the NASDAQ than in the New York Stock Exchange. So it kind of gives us a feel for where's the money flowing, which of the markets is getting more inflow versus outflow, and during the course of the day, how is that money inflow changing. So again, helpful information to help us know which markets are attracting the money over the course of the day. Okay, the right-hand upper pane in the market screen in Webull is a real-time news flow. So you can see news items will appear as they are released, and it will tell you how old the news item is, how long ago it was released, and then you can click on the news item and get the detail of that news item, and then click off and read the next news item. So it's a real quick and easy way to quickly access the real-time news, and again, you will see the news pop up as it is released. So again, this is a real easy way to view news as it's released and get the details very quickly. Again, I find this very useful. I think this performs better than like the FinBiz news on the browser or Thinkorswim's news items, just from a performance standpoint. So again, very useful. You can get the live news in the Webull's market screen very easily. So we hope that all helps. Okay, the center left pane in the market screen in Webull contains both the IPO Center and the calendar. The IPO Center is typically selected by default, and it's showing new offerings, new IPO offerings. It will show you the offering price and the amount and when it was listed, and shares offered once that goes live. So if you're into trading IPOs, this is very helpful. Shows you the IPOs offered, when they were filed. You can see, okay, what was the filing amount, what was the price, when was it filed, when was it listed. Again, we can see the offered price, the last price, when it was actually listed, and the percent change since the IPO. So we can see the last series of IPOs. We can scroll down, see previous ones. Similarly, for future offerings, we can see all the offerings. We also have the calendar tab in this pane. So if we click on calendar, we can see different types of calendars in this pane. The first selection is the earnings. So we can see upcoming earnings very quickly and easily by just selecting calendar earnings. So we can see when is the release time, and it will show AMC is after market close, or BMO is before market open. So we could see an estimate of their earnings, what are people expecting, and what was their price. So we could see an expectations of earnings. Again, we could scroll down and see future earnings on future days, who all is reporting. Again, that helps us know if you're holding a position in one of these stocks, you know their earnings or when their earnings are going to be released, and or how the companies in that same sector may be impacted by their earnings. So another quick and easy way to get the earnings calendar is in the market screen in Webull. We can also see when do companies pay dividends. This is very helpful. It shows the ex-dividend date for a company. So if you bought before this date, you got this dividend. Here's their expected dividend or announced dividend. If you bought on or after the ex-dividend date, then you did not get that dividend. See when it was declared, how much, when did they last pay, and their market value, etc. So again, then you could scroll forward and see future dividend payment dates. Again, it's very useful to know the ex-dividend date, because if you buy before that ex-dividend date, you get the dividend. If you buy on or after that ex-dividend date, you don't get the dividend, and often traders will discount the share price appropriate proportional to the dividend payment, so you're going to see a drop in price typically on the ex-dividend date. Something to remember also with placing your stops is, again, you're going to see a drop because of that dividend payment. You don't want it to hit your stop if you're planning to stay in for a longer term. We can also see any splits that are currently scheduled. We don't have currently any. If there were any planned splits, it would show the ratio of the split. It would show when that split is going to occur. So the ex-div date for the split is the date after which the split occurs. So again, we don't have any right now, but any planned splits would show up in the splits calendar. So again, this pane contains the IPO Center, the offers filed listed, and the calendar functionality. We see earnings, dividends, and splits that are scheduled. So we hope that all helps too. Okay, in the center right pane of the market screen in Webull, we have a wide selection and very useful functionality in terms of a number of screeners. See, we have a number of selections that we can make on the top, and then a number of time frames that we can select for each of these screeners. So the first one is top gainers, and again, we can see different time frames. We can see pre-market, after hours, the last 5 minutes, the current day, the last 5 days, the last month, 3 months, and the last 52 weeks. And in this pane, initially, it will show the top 10. And they're sorted based on the selections. So top gainers will show the highest gain at the top and descending from there. If we were to select top losers for pre-market, then again we would get it would be an ascending order with the biggest loser at the top. Each of these selections you can hit all and see all of the different time frames for the selections. So if I have top gainers, it's going to show me the top gainers sorted, and it will show me all of them, not just the top 10. And I can sort in here, say if I want to see just the top gainers for after hours, I can say, okay, after hours, I want to see for the whole day, I can say percent change for the day. Again, I can then sort by the different time frames, and it will automatically sort the last 5 minutes, etc., the last 52 weeks, top gainers. So then I can go back and I can select the losers, and similarly I can see all of the time frames for the losers. So if I want to see the biggest losers for the past 52 weeks. And then I can see, okay, who was the biggest loser. So again, all of these have that option to see just the top 10 or all of them. And again, you can select the different time frames, top gainers after hours, top gainers for the past day, top gainers for the year. So we've got losers, gainers, the most active for the day by volume. So who was the most active by volume during that day? Again, we can hit all, see the most active. So again, we can see all of them by volume. We can see percent turnover, most active by percent turnover, all of them, or the percent range, all of them. Again, we can see who's hitting a 52 high or low, and we can see, okay, the top new highs, ones that are near the high, hit a new low, near a low, and then again we can see all of them and select them in the All tab if we want to see more than just the top 10. We can see which ones are marginable. We can see long or short marginable, long and short marginable, what's marginable, and what's shortable. So if you are shorting, if you're a trader that shorts and you want to know which stocks are shortable, you can see which ones are shortable in that list. We can also again go to all, and we can see not just the top 10 or scrollable list, and we can scroll through there. And again, see if it's shortable, see if the one you're wanting to short shows up in this list, and also it shows you the current performance. So again, very powerful features in this pane. We also have rank. We can see the most popular on Webull, sort by popularity. We can see high dividend stocks, what's their yield. So if you're looking for high yield dividend stocks, here's a quick and easy way to find some. You get that question quite often. Earnings beyond expectations, who beat their earnings recently. Earnings below, who failed on their earnings recently. And again, earnings above or below expectations can not only tell you what impact that might have on that particular stock, but also what impact might that have on stocks in that sector. And again, if we want to get a bigger list, we can go to the all, and then we can see all of them most popular, high dividend, earnings above, and earnings below expectations. So again, very powerful pane, a lot of functionality, depending on what you're interested in. It's quick and easy to select. What are you most interested in, time frames, various indicators, etc. So we hope that helps. Lastly, the bottom pane of the market screen in Webull includes both the best performing industries and the most popular ETFs. And if you've watched us prepare our game plans for those segments included in this video and our other game plans, you'll see that we use this pane quite extensively, both to prepare our game plan for the week and intraday to see movement in the sectors, what's the most popular sectors at the time. And you can see by default it selects the best performing industries for the day first, but we can also see this for the past 5 days, the past month, the past 3 months. And so we can see quick and easily, for this given day, what are the top performing sectors, how many are increasing versus decreasing, and what are the top stocks in that particular sector. So again, it's very easy to see what are the top sectors moving right now in the current day. We can change these time frames, past 5 days, what are the top sectors for the past 5 days, past month, the past 3 months, and in each of these cases we can select the all on the right hand side, and instead of having the scrollable list there, we'll see them all, and again we can see the greens and reds, how many advancers and decliners, what are the top ones in each sector, and we can always scroll over and scroll down to see additional sectors and the details of each sector. And again, at the top, we're looking at all of them for the day. We can then select all of them for the past 5 days, all of them for the past month, all of them for the past 3 months. So we can see trends, right? Is the one for today different, or is the past 5 days, 1 month, are the same sectors, the top performers? The other feature of this pane, the lower pane in the market screen in Webull, is the most popular ETFs. And again, you will see we use this extensively. And we can select by market, by industry, by commodity or other. And again, initially we'll see the all, what's the top most popular ETFs across all the different categories, which ones are the top for the different markets, the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the VIX, the Russell, and the FTSE. We can also, again, always select the all in the upper right, and we can see them all on one screen. So we go back and we select by industry. Similarly, we can see the most popular by industry, how many advancers, decliners, what are the most popular ETFs in that industry, and we can get a feel for longs and shorts in a given industry. We can select all, scroll through them by industry, again see advancers and decliners in each industry. Again, the same tabs that were on the left-hand side in the pane are on the top in the all screen, so we can select commodities. We can see the most popular ETFs across all of them, focused ETFs, broad basket. You see other kind of bonds, what ETFs, again, are they longing or shorting bonds, and Forex, foreign currency. If you're a Forex trader, you can use this to help you choose the most popular Forex ETFs. So again, very useful features. Again, we like to watch this for movement intraday to see if the industries are shifting. Is the flows in the markets shifting during the day? These will move. The most popular industries, the best performing industry will move as they get more popular or less popular intraday. So again, we find this very useful. The Markets tab in Webull we find a great tool. Tons of functionality, as you can see, depending on what your interests are, what you're trying to trade. There's functionality here that you can use to be more successful in your trading. If you have any questions or would like additional information about how you can use the Markets tab in Webull, please put a comment in the description box below or in the comment section below, and we'll do our best to give you additional information, answer your questions, etc. We hope that you liked this video. We hope that you found it beneficial. Please smash the like button. If you're not already a member of our BeachBum trading community, we hope you'll choose to subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified of future videos like this. Also, if there's something you would like us to prepare a video on that would be helpful for your trading, please let us know in the comments below. Again, we hope this was all very helpful to you. Please provide us your feedback in the comments, and good luck and have a great trading day.
Thank you again for watching our video. We hope that you liked it. If so, please smash the like button, give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. Please share this video with your fellow traders and friends. And please give us your feedback and any recommendations for improvement in the comments section below. And let us know what else we can do to help you in your trading career. Thank you again, good luck, and have a great trading day.